Question number 136. Muscles of the heart. You know the three types of muscles that you would study: striated muscles, visceral muscles, and the heart muscles. Whereas the heart muscles are, you could see striated, branched, and involuntary. When you see the heart muscles, you could see actually you could see the striated, and also you could see the branches here. You could see the striations in this case of heart muscles, and also you could see the branch-like structure. You can also see the branch-like structures that you could see in case of heart muscles. So heart muscles have striation, and heart muscles do also have the branches. Okay, so this is not actually this branches that you could not see in case of skeletal muscles. Okay, but you can go with the visceral muscles. Like you take visceral muscles of not this type. Usually visceral muscles will be of tapering ends, which will be having spindle shape, and it will be having a tapering ends. This is for the visceral muscles. Here it won't be having any spindles or any striation that you could see. So here this is of visceral and this is of the heart muscle. So question number that is 136. 4 is the correct answer. That is striated, branched, and also it is involuntary in action, because it's not under your control. The heart muscles is not under your control. Even visceral organs, this is also involuntary. This is also visceral organ, the muscles also involuntary, but skeletal muscles are voluntary in action. 137. The striated appearance of myofibril due to distribution pattern of, wow, we could see the striation. This is because of the actin and myosin. This is because of I band and the A band that you could see. Frequently you could see the arrangement. This because of you could see the striations. So option 1 is the correct answer. 138. All or none law is not applicable for only for the skeletal muscle. It is not applicable, but whereas like other muscles, like your heart muscles, like other muscles, it is applicable. All or none law is like it's up to them, like whether they can use the complete energy or like it can use as per the requirement. But this law is not applicable for this particular skeletal muscles. So option 1 is the correct answer for 138. 139. The type of muscle fiber present in the wall of alimentary canal. Alimentary canal, I told you, the visceral organs where alimentary canal. Alimentary canal is a smooth muscle. Alimentary canal. So option 1, the smooth muscle fiber. Dark bands are called as A band. Dark band. So question number 140. Dark bands. We have the light band and the dark band. We have the dark band. Dark band is A. The light band is I. Anisotropic. So this A is also called as anisotropic. This is also called as anisotropic. Okay, so dark band or A bands. Option A 1 is the correct answer. Lack of relaxation between successive stimuli is sustained muscle contraction is known as this because of the tetanus which leads to a condition called as spasm. So option 141, it's actually this causes twitches in a muscle. So tetanus is actually which caused by bacteria. So tetanus is caused by Clostridium. This is caused by Clostridium tetani, the bacteria, and this causes twitches. And sometimes it even causes paralysis. So that is the reason, like if you go with any injury or something, like do you immediately take the TT injection. This is tetanus toxoid. To prevent from the tetanus. So option 1 is the correct answer for 141. So resulting from summation series of rapid muscular contraction that are induced by the repeated stimulation of the muscle. Then question 142, the collagenous connective tissue layer holding the muscle bundle fibers together is called as fascia. So fascia is the structure. If you see the structure, the fascia structure, this bundle, here you could see the fibers inside, the muscle fibers which comes from inside. Who is holding this bundle? This is actually the fascia. This is the fascia, and this part is called as tendons. This is called as tendon. The tendons which connected with the bone, this connected to the bone. And what's the structure which collectively holding this muscle fiber? This is the fascia structure. So for this option 4 is the correct answer. Then 143, during muscle contraction, which of the following events occurs? This is like 1, 2, 4 and 5. Edge zone, because edge zone disappears. For example, you take this is here, this thing, I band and A band that you could see. I band and A band, and here this central line is called as M line, right? Here you could see this is like, for Z line, and this is the place you could see the Z line. This zone is called as H zone. So when the muscle is going for contraction, like these bands which come closer, then what will happen if the muscle is going for contraction? The H zone, the gap between these two will start decreasing. The H zone will started decreasing. If H zone is very less, then we come to conclusion the muscle is in contraction phase. If the gap is more, H zone the gap is more, then it is in a relaxed condition. So with this context, we go with the first option, 1, 2, 4 and 5. H zone disappears, A band widens and width of A band is unaffected, and M line and Z line which comes closer. So option 1 is the correct answer. Question number 144. 144 you take, which of the following is correct about the given figure? We could say maximum contracted 2 sarcomeres that you would see. The myosin cross bridge moves on the surface of actin, and the thin and the thick filament myofilament slide past on the each other. Because it cross bridge over the one on the surface, actin and thick and myofilaments, then what will happen? The power pack formation which forms between the actin and myotin, this gets breaks, so automatically they go with the option 3. The myosin cross bridges move on the surface, and actin and the thin and thick myofilaments slide past each other. So third is the correct answer. Question number 145. Which of the following sets of ions are necessary in the chemical events for the muscle contraction? Calcium. So calcium as well as magnesium ions are playing very important role as far as your contraction is concerned. Next question, we move on to question number 146. Coming to this particular question, 146. 146 question, which of the following bones does not articulate with the other bone? The only one bone that we discussed is the hyoid bone, which you could see in a buccal cavity. So hyoid bone will not get articulated. Next, the human vertebrae is 147, you could see the human vertebrae is acilis. Human vertebrae 147, acilis. 147, it is human vertebrae is acilis. Why it is acilis? Because the vertebrate, this which the centrum is flat on both ends, with this like convex or the convexity, it is the vertebrates or characteristic feature of the vertebrate of the mammals, you could see, because both the ends without having a concavity or convexity. For this reason, it's called as acilis. And 148, scapula is a large triangular bone situated in the dorsal part of the thorax between what? Between the second and the seventh rib. Between the second and the seventh rib, we could see the back side of the scapula along with the shoulder bone. You could see triangular flag-like structure that is called as your scapula. Then 149, pectoral girdle consists of, I told you the pectoral girdle consists of scapula and the clavicle. So pectoral girdle 149 question, it consists of the clavicle. It consists of the clavicle part, and also this consists of the triangular structure. So this is the clavicle, and this we call it as a scapula. In between only I told you, like, we have the glenoid cavity. Okay. So for this, 1 is the correct answer. 150, the scapula is a large triangular structure that equals second and the seventh rib, we discussed already. Then 151, connection of bone to bone. How the bone and bone has been connected? By means of a, not by a ligament. Bone and the muscle is by means of a tendon, but bone to bone it is connected by means of ligament. So option 4 is the correct answer. 152, number of cervical vertebrae in mammal is 7, C1 to C7. Out of this C1 to C7, we could see C1 to C7, in which C1, C2, these are atlas, and C2 we call it as axis. So all other 5, we have, like, the 7, the cervical vertebrae that you can see. So for this particular question, that is like which question we have, so the number of cervical vertebrae in mammals, 152 question, it's 1, option 1 is the correct answer. 153, which one of the following membranes secretes a watery fluid that lubricates and cushions the joint? Synovial membrane. So the synovial membrane, if you could see the joints, if you could see the one joint here, and if there is other one, you could see the bone, and this is actually the synovial membrane. The synovial membrane which cushions, this we call it as a synovial membrane, okay, which cushions, which act like a lubrication between the one bone to the other bone. So this is for the question number 153. So option 4 is the correct answer. 154, which of the following is not a synovial joint? Then cranium, because cranium is not movable joints, it's a fibrous joint, so it's not movable joint. So option 3 is the correct answer. 155. Elbow joint is an example of hinge joint. So elbow joint is an example for the hinge joint, because hinge joint is formed is because of form of freely movable joints, so that allows the angular movements usually, which you could see in this type of joints, and increase and decreasing the angle between the bones. Examples you could see in the knee joint and the elbow joint. So question number 156. 156, which of the following conditions bone matrix is not reduced? None of these. So no osteoporosis, no osteomalacia, hyperparathyroidism. So option 4, that is none of this is the correct answer. Then we move to the next question, 157. 157, the Paget's disease is caused by, what is the Paget disease? This is because of the abnormal bone reabsorption by the abnormal osteoclast. So option 2 is the correct answer. 158, sarcomere is the functional unit of contraction of the muscle fiber. Identify the portion of myofibril that constitutes a sarcomere. For this, the portion of myofibrils between the two successive Z lines. So one Z line to the other line, this particular unit we call it as a sarcomere. As already told you, like this Z line and this Z line, this unit we call it as sarcomere. So for this, option 2 is the correct answer. Question number 159, the edge zone in the skeletal muscle fiber. What is the edge zone? I told you edge zone, the gap is more if it is in a relaxed condition. If it is a contraction phase, then edge zone, the gap will be very less. So the option 1, the central gap between the actin filaments extending through the myosin filaments in the A band. So edge zone, automatically this gap which will be very much reduced if it is going for a contraction. Okay, so first is the correct answer. In a muscle, the functional unit of contraction is what? Functional unit of contraction is a sarcomere. What is a sarcomere? Sarcomere is actually which present between this Z line to this Z line. So contraction itself, you take which is a contraction unit. Sarcomere is the contraction unit. So for this, go with the first option. Then question number 161. Stimulation of a muscle fiber from a motor neuron occurs, which there is a junction where the neurotransmitters will generate. What is the name of the junction? Neurotransmitter junction. This is what we studied in case of myasthenia gravis, where like our own immune cells will start acting against this particular the neurotransmitters, that is acetylcholine. So option 1 is the correct answer. Question number 162. Muscles get fatigued due to the accumulation. I told you already, due to the presence of lactic acid, because it is anaerobic conditions. When the lactic acid forms, like automatically the oxygen level it goes down, there will be depletion of oxygen, then the muscles will go to the fatigue condition. Fine. So 1 is the correct answer. Question number 163. An acromion process is characterized in case of where you could see the acromion process, we could see in the pectoral girdle. Acromion process that you could see in case of pectoral girdle, where you could see this acromion process, there you could see the glenoid cavity I told you, right? Here you could see the acromion process you could see in the pectoral girdle. This is a characteristic feature of the mammals. Coming to the 164, these are the following pairs of human skeletal parts are correctly matched with the respective inclusive skeletal category, and one pair is not matched. Identify the non-matching. If you see clavicle and the glenoid cavity, you could see it's not matched. This in case of option 2 with the pelvic girdle. So option 2 is the correct answer. So 164 clavicle and glenoid cavity is for the pelvic girdle. Why? Because clavicle and glenoid cavity, this comes under clavicle and glenoid. This is the glenoid cavity I am talking about. So glenoid cavity, these two comes under what? Pectoral girdle. This is a pectoral girdle. Acetabulum only which comes to the pelvic girdle. Okay, so pectoral means we have the glenoid cavity, that is clavicle, but acetabulum is for the pelvic girdle. So option 2 is the incorrect statement. Okay, 165. Which of the following bones form a link between axial and the appendicular skeleton? Which is a connecting bone? This bone, your shoulder bone, that is a clavicle, which act in connecting between the axial and the appendicular skeleton. Option 2 is the correct answer. 166. Carpometacarpal joint of human thumb is an example of saddle joint. So human thumb that you take, this is an example for a saddle joint, and this is because of linking the scapula, that is shoulder blade, to the sternum. So which you could see, this is an example for this one. So carpometacarpal joint for human thumb is an example for the saddle joint. So option 3 is the correct answer. Then example, you take thumb. 166. that we have done. 167. Knee joint is an example. Knee joint that we told, right? This is actually an example that you take. You take an example. This is a joint. We call it as a freely movable joint. So this we call it as an ing joint. Ing joint. Next, move on to 168 question. The type of joints present between the humerus bones and the pectoral girdle, right? The humerus. This is the humerus part. This is humerus part, and this is your pectoral. Okay. So what is actually that joint that you could see? You could see the ball, and this is already we discussed. This joint is called as, which is connecting with the humerus. This is connecting with the humerus part, the humerus, and this is a ball and socket joint. So what is actually the process here? The acromion process, which gets fit inside the glenoid cavity. Okay, as far as pectoral girdle is concerned. Okay. So next question. Question number 169. Osteoporosis, an age-related disorder of skeletal system, may occur in decrease in the level of estrogen. This is especially in case of females. Option 3 is the correct answer. Select the correct statement regarding the special disorder of musculoskeletal system. Osteoporosis, decrease in bone mass and higher chances of fractures with the advancing age. So option 2 is the correct answer. Microfilaments are involved in what type of movement? The microfilaments are involved. Usually it involves in a amoeboid movement. Option 1 is the correct answer. 172. Which of the following is most abundant mineral element in the skeletal muscles? Here you could see the potassium. Sometimes you go for the calcium. Calcium which acts like a precursor, which increases actually the bond formation. So here, which is most abundant mineral element that you could see is only the potassium, but facilitating this reaction, the contraction, the relaxation is by means of calcium. But which is abundant? Potassium. Question number 173. Which of the following statements is incorrect? The cytoplasm or striated muscle is called as endoplasm. So this is incorrect. So option 3. Question number 174. Coming to the 174, we are talking about 174 question. If a muscle undergoes rapid contraction and relaxation, the sarcoplasmic reticulum extension requires constant plugging in and out of calcium ions. Because it requires calcium for going in and out, it goes for contraction and relaxation. Question number 175. Which of the following is incorrect regarding the muscle contraction? Incorrect is mechanical energy is converted into the chemical energy. No, this is the incorrect statement, where mechanical energy will never be converted to the chemical in case of this muscle contraction. Then skull of man is actually, here they given tricondylic, but it is dicondylic. The dicondylic, option 2 is the correct answer. We have two condyles. The behind, like you could see beneath the, the occipital lobe, we have dicondylic in nature. Sometimes you misconception with the tricondylic. It's not tricondylous. Skull is a dicondylic in nature. 177. 11th and 12th pairs of ribs which are imperfectly formed do not react the sternum, and this is called as floating ribs. Sometimes we call it as gorilla ribs, which is not be directly connected, because it will be completely floating actually. You would have seen out of 12 ribs, the last ribs that you could see, 11th and 12th, which has not been connected with the sternum part, but it is connected with the vertebral column at the back. So option 3 is the correct answer. Humerus with the rounded upper end, we call it as glenoid cavity. This I told you already, the humerus bone which is connected by means of the cavity, right? This cavity is called as glenoid. This is for pectoral girdle. Acetabulum is for the pelvic girdle. You should not get confused with the glenoid and the acetabulum. Glenoid is for the pectoral girdle, which connects with the humerus bone. Question number 177. The joint of radio ulna with the upper arm. What type of joint is this? Freely movable joint. So ing joint is the correct answer for this question. Option 1 is the correct answer. Then the last question, 180. Imbalances of certain hormones, deficiencies of calcium and vitamin D are the major cause factors, because we deal with bone, the breakage of bone. This leads to osteoporosis. So option 2 is the correct answer. This because of what? Bone mineral density. The bone mineral density which gets reduced automatically leads to a condition called as osteoporosis. Some age related factors in case of females, where you could see estrogen level drops down, the vitamin D levels which goes down, and glucocorticoid or thyroid or parathyroid hormone, if these hormones seems to be deficient also, there are chances of person they have this condition called as osteoporosis. So by this we are completing the second chapter, the next chapter, that is locomotion and movement. I hope you listen to this. Thank you so much.